Roll that beautiful town hall footage.
Roll that beautiful town hall footage. That's right. Thank you very much, Will. Okay, and with that, welcome everybody to Optimism Town Hall. We are here just after an Optimism Fractal event. We meet every Thursday at 18 UC. Everybody's welcome to join the Optimism Town Hall. It's a collaborative space, weekly event for impactful discussions, open discussions, structured discussions. Feel free to share any topics. And we also have systems where we can propose topics with respect that people can earn by playing on-chain social games like the Respect game. So I encourage you to join and invite friends. There's an article where you can learn more at the Optimistic site as well. And then, as I said, this happens right after the Optimism Fractal event, which happens Thursdays at 17 UTC, which we just played the Respect game at. Everybody's welcome to join both events or either, and they both work very nicely together. So I'd love to see you at both. You can learn more about that at optimismfractal.com, a community dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance on the Superchain with the Town Hall and with many other initiatives. We publish the videos from the Optimism Town Hall. Maybe we'll publish them eventually separately, and that's kind of what we do, this kind of like intro video presentation too, because at some point we can share them separately and so forth. But for right now, they're published as part of the Optimism Fractal videos, which you can see at optimismfractal.com/videos. And you can see our recent Town Hall episodes where we talked about Optimism Fractal's core intents and Superchain leaders, and a reflection session on Optimism Fractal and Optimism Town Hall's progress, and the different, where we talked about the Optimism Fractal software for the Respect game, and the cagendas topics, like these different kinds of topics games that we're pioneering where people can vote with respect on different topics. So check those out at optimismfractal.com/videos to see the previous videos. Last week, we talked about a core intent proposal to update the core intents, which was approved. I announced that at the top of the Optimism Fractal post, which you can see on the governance forum or earlier in this video. And you can also find all the great posts on Optimism Fractal Season 3 in the governance forum for Optimism at gov.optimism.io. Today, Rosmari also put out a post about the topic for today, which is about base builders and Onchain Summer, Build Onchain this summer, a great initiative hosted by Base. She gave a little overview about it here as well, where you can learn more. She talked about how the deadline to apply to Onchain Summer Buildathon has now been pushed back to June 30th, which is in 10 days from the from this today episode. Is that the best way to say it? From the current day. And then you can find the site that you can apply to the Buildathon, and a latest workshop, which provides a lot of great details. And we've also been curating resources about the Buildathon and about Onchain Summer in general. So we'll discuss Onchain Summer. I have a little presentation ready to go over some details about it, and we can also have an open discussion for any comments or questions about Onchain Summer, as well as if you have anything else that's on your mind, Abraham, Will, Rosmari, we can also have an open discussion too. So curious to hear your thoughts if you have anything else related to Onchain Summer, or there's also another topic afterwards we can discuss too. So I'll continue the presentation here at a couple other slides I'll bring up. We're hosting this on Base channel in the Warcast, which is a decentralized social media network on the Superchain. So inviting everyone to join and like and share to help spread the word. Really cool stuff going on here where she's explaining how it works. And then in general, how we discuss the two topics of discussion at Optimism Town Hall. One, as I said, it's an open community forum, so just feel free to just suggest any topics on your mind, raise your hand, or just unmute or share a comment in the chat if there's anything you want to discuss in particular. And then in general, we're also working on ways that we can refine the process of having communication and having conversations and doing it with on-chain, with doing it respect to Optimism Fractal. So we play a little game that we call cagendas. And the way that works is you can propose a topic by creating a poll in the Optimism Town Hall snapshot space, and then anybody who's earned respect can vote with respect in these polls. And the topic with the most votes at 17 UTC will be discussed during the event. We've also experimented with another thing called OP topics, and there's ways that we can refine this. We can have live voting and so forth, but that's something we can propose at any time. But feel free to just keep it simple. If you want to propose a topic, then you can do it on the Town Hall snapshot space, or just feel free to suggest any topic. And we have some more details about this. It's kind of in development as well. And then, yeah, you can also check out optimistic.io/agendas to see this community agendas game where you can vote with respect and so forth. So the rules are there, and encourage anybody to propose topics if there's anything you want to discuss. And whatever topic gets the most votes will be just the first topic we discuss. But then we can discuss anything afterwards as well when there's time. And so the topic that has the most votes in the Optimism Town Hall snapshot space is Onchain Summer, and the other topic that was proposed is Optimism Season 6. So Onchain Summer is an annual event hosted by Base featuring on-chain art, gaming, and music activities, along with a month-long buildathon offering over 600 ETH in total in prizes for builders that build innovative on-chain projects this summer. You can find more details on base.org/Onchain Summer, and we have that Notion page with lots of resources, which we'll go over a little bit. And then Optimism Season 6 is an exciting initiative by the Optimism Collective to support the development of the Superchain, of which Base is part. And it offers opportunities for public goods creators and community members to receive funding and play a leading role in governance. So this isn't the main topic, but just as a quick reminder, the mission request deadline is on June 27th, which is in a week. So if you want to propose any missions, then you can do that. And that's a great way to kind of like create your own grant program, although there's some stipulations about that, about how to do it, because there's only a certain amount of people who can. I shared some messages about that with Will in the Eden Fractal chat, and I can follow up and provide more details if anybody would like. But this is coming up, and also be an opportunity to receive funding for completing missions and also get involved with governance. So maybe we'll propose this again for next week and discuss in more detail, but just wanted to give a brief overview of it now in case we don't get a chance to discuss it. And yeah, today we'll discuss base builders and the exploring base and Onchain Summer. More so Onchain Summer, because Onchain Summer, it's not just base now. There's lots of other communities, such as the Optimism Foundation, that's also playing a role too in sponsoring posts on Warcast. I previously proposed a topic with more details about this, about how base is building an on-chain global economy that increases innovation, creativity, and freedom. This was a previous topic proposal, but there's just more details here, and I made a shorter one. So anybody can read it on the screen if you want, but we'll continue to discuss that basically. And I suppose with that, I can just get into the presentation. I don't know if anybody wants to share any thoughts right now. Feel free to just jump in if you want, or raise your hand if you have any questions or comments, or you want to share anything about Onchain Summer in particular. Otherwise, I have a presentation and can speak for a few minutes and just kind of give an overview of some of the key resources that we can check out. But maybe I'll just give it a few minutes of silence to see Will is unmuted.
Yeah, I have a quick question. Did they bump up the overall pool? Because last I checked, it was only 200 ETH. So did that increase, or has it always been 600? Maybe I just mislooked at it.
Yeah, good question. That's something I was wondering about before too. And I hopefully I communicated it well when I said it. But if you go to base.org and then you click on where it says join the Summer Buildathon on the top of it, then I think it explains it well here. It says 600 ETH in rewards in total, but that's, I believe, the whole summer. So the Buildathon specifically is what happens throughout the month of June, and that has 200 ETH in rewards. And then the entire summer has 600 ETH, so it's a 3-month event, and it's maybe kind of like something like 200 ETH per month. But more specifically, there's I think 5 different ways. Like this whole section on the screen right now is about rewards. So one of the rewards, I suppose, is in gas credits, where builders can get free gas on Base to make it so people can, who are building apps on Base, can use it for free. There's builder grants, where Base rewards 1 to 5 ETH for early projects. And there's also the Coinbase venture firm too, which can also provide additional funding in addition to the 600 ETH too. They're very well funded. I don't remember the exact name of it off the top of my head, but there's a venture program basically that has a lot of funding. And so you can tag Base on Warcast to be eligible for the builder grants. There's also the rounds grants too. If you go to warpcast.com/channel/base builds, I might be mistaken, warpcast.com/ I don't know why they have that weird tilde sign /channel/base-builds, then there's a program where they give away 2 ETH in equal rewards using software called Rounds, which basically the more likes you get, more engagement you get, and so forth by posting on Base builds, then you get funding directly from this, from 2 ETH per week. And you can see people just like sharing what they're working on. So everybody can do that, and they're doing that throughout the summer. There's also another channel, Onchain Summer, where Optimism is giving away 5K OP per week as well by doing a similar thing too. So that's another initiative in addition to the 600K ETH from Base. There's also 5,000 OP per week from Optimism as well. And then if we head back to this other window here, there's some other rewards too. I think it mentions, there's also Optimism Retro Public Goods funding too. That's available too, which is the program that is giving away 10 million OP in the current round. And they have 3 more rounds signed up for the rest of the year. So does that clarify the question, Will? And do you have any other thoughts?
No, yeah, it does. So it's 600 total, but each one's broken down. And I think the venture fund you're talking about is the Base Ecosystem Fund, because that's one that we've applied for with KF Media. Yeah, just get used to me shortening it now. It's just easier to say. But anyways, yeah, that's one we applied for. We haven't heard back on that yet. What I shared as part of the respect game is that I've been trying to coordinate a team to do a specific build for us as a part of Onchain Summer. So I've got the product designer in place. I've got the leader in place that will lead that team along with myself coordinating. So we're trying to secure a dev to actually go do build on as part of Onchain Summer, and then we can all share in whatever rewards that we get. But the majority of them are going to go to the people that are actually doing the work. So excited about it. Hopefully we can get it pulled together in the next 10 days and get our entry in. And
Okay, excellent. Well, thanks, Will, for sharing the update with us. And that sounds really exciting. So looking forward to hearing how it goes. Feel free to let us know if there's any way we can support with that, and hope it all goes well. Also, to be clear, too, there is a couple different funds. So this is a little bit outside the scope of the Onchain Summer specifically, but Onchain Summer provides a great way to get involved with the different funding opportunities in Base and Coinbase. There is actually another thing in addition. Will was saying that it is the Coinbase Ecosystem Fund, which is an opportunity, but there's also Coinbase Ventures, which
so they're separate.
Yes, that's another fund that's available, which is like a venture capital fund, which is invested in all these different organizations and companies and stuff like that, as you can see here. So there's multiple different funding opportunities in addition to Onchain Summer, and Onchain Summer provides a way to get involved with all these opportunities and build relationships and so forth. And if people want to check out the Base Ecosystem Fund, then I recommend checking out Base.mirror.xyz, where you can see all their blog posts. And one of these blog posts recently was about the Base Ecosystem Fund too. And you can read some stories about some recent companies and organizations that have received funding from the Base Ecosystem Fund. I'm not seeing it right now, but I know like Paragraph and some other ones have received funding. So yeah, there we go. So there's multiple different funds that you can apply to, and Onchain Summer can help get connected with that. I suppose if anybody wants to jump in, and feel free. Oh, I see Will unmuted.
I was going to say, I'm sure on-chain reputation goes a long way in the selection process, and that's really what we're looking to increase with KF Media. So,
yeah, absolutely. So I think Onchain Summer, it's a great way to celebrate what's going on in Onchain Summer and help people get on chain. Base is working to bring the world on chain, and they're doing this to unleash creativity and invite everyone to build and create and get rewarded all summer long. And the rewards are very nice with the 600 ETH plus all the extra rewards. There's also another like about $200,000 that's been on Bounty Caster as well. People make bounties to build with tools and so forth. So there's lots of funding available, lots of growth opportunities. Like Base offers marketing support and so forth, and development support. And in addition to those other funding opportunities too, like Coinbase Ventures and the Base Ecosystem Fund. I suppose I'll just keep going with a little brief overview here. But at any point, if anyone wants to just jump in, guide the conversation anyway, or ask any questions, share any thoughts, then feel free to do so at any time. Very very happy to hear your thoughts. So feel free to just jump in anytime. So you recommend checking out.
Rosmari also shared a link in the chat of the recording of their office hours.
Yes.
Yesterday, Base's office hours in support of Onchain Summer. Unfortunately, I missed that, but I will go back and look at their recording once we get our team in place.
Maybe we can, Dan, do you remember key takeaways from this too?
Yeah. So I have it up on the window right now. And actually, if you go to the DevFolio YouTube site, I didn't actually find this for a while because I was looking, because they've actually been, they have a schedule where they're hosting all sorts of events. And this one was yesterday, what makes a good Buildathon project. And so I'll give a little overview, some key takeaways like Rosmari said. But then also I recommend people check out DevFolio, which is the company that is hosting the that's like providing the hackathon services, the Buildathon services, along with Base, basically. And they've been doing interviews with, in addition to the Base team, they've also been doing interviews with the sponsors. So there's 8 sponsors, 8 different tracks: Synthetics, Aerodrome, Stripe, Zora, Fleek, and Shopify, Third Web, and Nouns. And they're each working with, like Zora is doing a creator track and Stripe is doing a payments track, and so forth. So you can check out interviews with each one of these teams. Basically, there's these different tracks where you can apply with different projects that you're building on chain. So I recommend people checking that out. And then if you go there to search for DevFolio and you find the most recent video, then you can find what makes a good Buildathon project. And this is mostly hosted by Will Binns, who's the senior developer advocate for Base, also the CEO of DevFolio and the community lead of DevFolio. And then if you check it out, it's really helpful. I watched this very intently yesterday and learned a lot. It has an overview of how many people are participating in this. So there's many people, over 5,000 projects have been staking. You have to stake a bit of ETH, like I think 0.01 ETH or like $8 worth of ETH in order to participate. And I think you get it back. They talk about what makes a good Buildathon project and how to apply, and like having a good USP and experimentation and doing it on chain, making it technical and using the chain, but having originality, all the stuff that goes into much more detail. There's also a little overview here too that I think provides a little bit of a better overview with the agenda. So they also talk about how to submit your project on Devfolio. They do a walkthrough of how it works, and then they announce the mentorship hours on the Base Gather space. So there's a little like they have some examples of apps that have worked well. So I really recommend seeing it to actually catch the entire thing and understand how of all the benefits. But then they show exactly like the sign up process, how to form a team, because you can form a team if you want to, or you can do it on your own. But they give like very just a walkthrough of exactly what it's like to sign up and create a project and so forth. And then they announced the mentorship hours. So they're previously doing office hours in the Base Discord 2 days a week, but then they stopped doing that and they're working on this platform called Gather, which is like a virtual kind of gathering space. That's I'm very interested to learn more about. I just signed up for it. They shared a QR code that you can sign up if you want to participate in these office hours. So I'll share that in a moment, and maybe we can take a screenshot of that, or feel free to reach out to us in general, and happy to share it. But yeah, basically it's like a virtual co-working space, and then they have mentorship hours where you can get one-on-one contact with people on the Base team, as well as the sponsors of the tracks, like so meeting with Zora or Shopify and so forth. This is the Mid-Buildathon check-in form. So if you want to participate in this, then I think the link doesn't work, but if you just take a screen, if you just use your camera on your phone, then you can, there's a really short form that you can get involved to build and then get that kind of one-on-one support. So I just filled that out as I said before, and looking forward to participating in, and recommend checking out this full video. It's very, very informative, as well as checking out the other videos if there's certain tracks that interest you. And then if you go back to the main Onchain Summer, there's a lot more you can learn here too. You can learn about the Buildathon track sponsors and how each of these are contributing. And then I suppose just because I didn't do it before, there's also a lot of great tools that the Base team is building too, such as the smart wallet to make it really easy for people to create accounts, and Coinbase verifications, where people can where you can get verified on chain or see who's verified on chain, who has a Coinbase account, to be able to tell who's a real person and so forth. And there's the Paymaster, which covers accounts. They also have something called Onchain Kit to make it like a pseudo open source front end tools too, to build apps on chain. Oh yeah, Onchain Kit here. So, and each one of these, there's also a 40 ETH in rewards, I believe, to build these things too. So I'm not sure if that's included in the 600 or in addition, but there's also demos and additional ETH to specifically build with their tools. And then the thing I was going to show was that there's a section, I don't know where it is right now, but there's a section for schedule that can show the schedule of all the events too. And so I was going to tie that back to what makes a good Buildathon, but there's a schedule of upcoming events basically. So maybe I'll pause there. I still have some other windows I could show. That kind of is most of it. I guess the other thing I was just going to show was in addition to what we showed so far, you might just want to explore the Base blog a little bit, and then see, I guess I'm not in the right spot for the Base blog, but there's a couple blog posts that share more details about this, basically with an overview of the event. These were released a couple weeks ago or a month ago or so. So the other resources might be a bit newer, but here's how it explains how they're adding a bonus pool of 40 ETH for builders using the Coinbase Smart Wallet and Coinbase verifications and Coinbase on-chain kit and stuff like that. So I was looking into smart wallets a lot. They work very well, and they're really interesting. On-chain kit too. So some really interesting tools that the Coinbase team has been building in the background for a while, and now basically they're open sourcing it to allow everybody to benefit from these. So really great resources for builders who are interested in these kinds of things. And then there's also a lot of content from last Onchain Summer too. It was a great event. It wasn't nearly as big as this one, but you can see more about the upcoming schedule for July and August. Basically, the idea is that the Buildathon is in June, and then in July, they're going to focus a lot on onboarding. So people who build stuff, we're going to focus on Base is going to be supporting with marketing support and so forth. They're working to bring billions of people on chain, and they have great resources with Coinbase to do so. And then in August, they're going to be growing, basically. So I guess we'll have more announcements soon, but that's the general idea. First, we're building, and we'll probably be building all summer long. But in addition to building all summer long, we're also going to be focusing more on onboarding and growing the stuff that we built in June. going forward. I've also been working with Rosmari and talking a little bit with, I talked a little bit with Abraham and Tadas and several other people about maybe participating and building some tools for Optimism Fractal and Optimism Town Hall. And seeing how we can apply, because it'd be great to raise funding for everybody who participates at Optimism Fractal, or for everybody who can help build different things that are helpful for the Superchain in general and Optimism Fractal, Optimism Town Hall, and so forth. So we can discuss that a bit. And then just in general, if anybody, I think everybody here who's watching as well familiar, Grand jumped over it, but if you're not familiar, Base.org is where you can learn more about what Base is in general. Builder-friendly Ethereum L2, who's doing great stuff. And we did have a video where we discuss this more in detail too. If you go to optimismfractal.com and go to the videos page in our 27th episode, we had an episode where we discussed this in more detail. We heard some thoughts from Will and Abraham and everybody about this too. So I suppose that's the end of my presentation. We only have like 6 minutes left scheduled. Happy to go a bit longer if we'd like. You can also wrap it up whenever too. I see Rosmari shared a couple of takeaways. Rosmari, I don't know if you want to share those out loud, or Abraham or Will, if you want to share anything, then feel free to do so.
Yeah, the key takeaways from me from that video were to not wait until the 30th of June to submit your application, but apply and update your application throughout until the deadline hits, so it's not overwhelming for the judges. Also, a tip they gave was we can create a video demo, demoing the product or project, or even better, to provide a working website link or a demo app link so that the judges can actually interact and see what you've built and see your project. And then also, if there are any further questions, you can ask the Base you can go to the Base Discord and ask them in the Onchain Summer main channel or at the specific Onchain Summer track channel, which is applicable for your project. Yes, and also you can try to tag Will at WBNNS too, if you want to get him to respond to you. He's pretty responsive, looking for builders to help.
Yeah, thanks, Rosmari. Great point. I see Abraham's unmuted.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out, like, it seems like a reasonably tight deadline to try to get a submission in. Is there the makings of probably, I mean, and there's tons of content on the Notion site. It probably wouldn't be hard to pull some of that content together and try to make a synopsis of what we would do in terms of technology. You know, either I think the thing that I would be concerned about is just lock-in. But you know, if you're locked into Base, probably that's not a terrible thing. It's just yeah, we probably should just have a follow-up meeting and try and figure out if, you know, if you need some any technical guidance for the front end perspective, or you know, all that kind of stuff to try and get that submission in, because I'm happy to participate to try and help you know, build something. And I think it could be really great to, I mean, if nothing else, it could be great visibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Abraham, so much. I want to respond to that. Also, I don't know if I showed it, but as he mentioned, there's Notion pages for this too, and I guess I've got to bring these up, or I lost them over there or something like that. But we have Notion pages where that's where they are. So I've been curating a lot of stuff about building with Base in the Optimism Fractal Notion site as well. A little introduction here, and then a bunch of tasks that I've been like following this, and we can contribute to this and read here for finding a lot of these resources. However, it can be helpful, and we also have resources for Onchain Summer specifically that are here too. So if you go to optimismfractal.com and then click on where it says Notion, you might have to scroll, or I think it's at the top right corner, but then you can find all these links here in one spot too, as well as there's a great interview with Jesse Polak, the creator of Base, talking about the Buildathon too with more details. And they also had an introductory video a few weeks ago when it kicked off too with more details. So lots of good stuff here, but just wanted to put that in there. And then in response to what you were saying there, Abraham, yeah, so I've been meaning to reach out to you. I really appreciate about a week and a half ago, we were messaging a little bit and talking about how to build wall connecting, I'll say integrations into the Optimism Fractal app. And So I did a lot of research into that, and then I've been meaning to get back to you. And so I think it's definitely a good idea for us to follow up at that. I mean, I've been meaning to do it in text. I have it like mostly written, but I just haven't sent it yet. So I can send that, or if you're up for it, then I'd love to meet as well, and we can talk about it. Because yeah, I was thinking of reaching out to you because I think from what I heard, it doesn't take that long to integrate with like, say the Coinbase Smart Wallet. And also maybe on-chain kit and stuff like that. And they can offer development help too. Rosmari mentioned Will, who's the host. He actually reached out to me, and I've been in contact with him because I joined the office hours to speak a couple of days ago, and I didn't get a chance to speak. But I said I'd love to speak in the chat. But then he reached out and said like, "Hey, sorry, you didn't get a chance to speak. Is there anything I could help with?" So I just followed up and gave a little overview of where we're at basically, and said that like it would be helpful to have development help, marketing help, and stuff like that. So yeah, and then as far as lock-in, I don't think there's lock-in. It is all open source, and it's not attached to, say for example, the Coinbase Smart Wallet. You don't need to have a Coinbase account. It can work with all kind. You just create it. It's all open source. It works with passkey technology, totally independent of Coinbase. It has a feature where it can work well with Coinbase wallets with Coinbase, but it doesn't need that, and it can also work with other exchanges too. Like I don't know, if people use Binance or whatever as well too.
Nice. Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Maybe just like maybe we kind of get stakeholders together and try and like craft a, what's the MVP, what kind of thing are we going to try to deliver and what the time frame is. And usually I've had a pretty significant amount of experience like just sizing projects and trying to make sure they fit into a specific time frame, and we could try to run through some of that and just see what we can deliver and decide on a stack and all that stuff.
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. And your knowledge is very, very much appreciated and interest in helping. And so looking forward to collaborating. And maybe, I don't know what the best way is for us to just maybe follow up and chat about and set up a meeting, or just follow up and chat and talk about it over text, maybe to some extent. But that sounds good. I know you mentioned Alchemy too. I've done a lot of research into Alchemy, and Alchemy is working with a Superchain as well. In the console.optimism.io, there's a developer council or console, I should say, where there's like cool programs going on from Alchemy too, and they have a lot of great resources. I think both Coinbase developer platform and Alchemy could work together in some ways too, as well as many other services we can think about. So I think it'd be great to kind of scope it out, figure out what's the best option. And then I think also the stuff that Tadas is building too. Tadas is building like a foundation for fractal apps building, for any community that wants to deploy their own fractal or play the respect game or anything like that. So I think probably doing some integrations would be helpful, like in that kind of open source way, so that communities can decide whether they want to use Coinbase Smart Wallet with a fractal app, or something like Rainbow Kit, which might allow more wallet connections, or wallet connection, or wallet connect, or all these different services. So I think either way, what we build will probably be very useful and much better than what we currently have, and maybe a good way to perhaps earn some funding for everyone who helps build it, and then also raise awareness and build relationships and so forth, as you said too. I see Rosmari just shared. Go ahead.
Maybe even, if just getting interest in the developer community, if we get to present or something like that, like just having other developers come in and, getting a little bit more sort of motion going on. Oh, well, here's, we have a lot of tasks already. You've done a great job of doing research and getting the tasks spelled out and all that. We just need to have some people come in and knock them out.
Yeah. And the base community, well, first off, thank you. I appreciate that. And then
it's impressive.
Thanks a lot. I work hard in it because I'm very committed to helping the community grow, and I see immense benefit for everybody. And so I see a huge potential for Base and Optimism Fractal to collaborate. That was one of the ideas too why we passed the proposal about broadening the scope to the Superchain. Optimism is already a Superchain, but it just makes it more clear that like we're very open and willing and very interested in collaborating with the Base community, as well as everyone in Superchain. And Base has a huge developer community. Like I believe by most metric is now the fastest growing public network, fast growing blockchain network. Most developers, most users coming on, amazing stuff happening. And we can provide a great service basically to the Base community, in providing ways that people can get involved and help build stuff, and also meet other builders and so forth. And people can also help achieve the things that Optimism Fractal needs to be more successful and help Base and help everyone as much as possible too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like almost like a utility kit in a way. Like if you need consensus mechanism, this is a perfect tool.
Yep. I agree. Well, you heard it here, Base. We are a few minutes over top of the hour. We started a bit late, so I hope people didn't mind. We're going a bit longer. Happy to wrap it up whenever, or if anybody has any other thoughts that you'd like to share. I see Rosmari had shared steps that I curated to create a Coinbase smart wallet, actually. So if you want, I could briefly share that before I wrap it up and like stuff like that. Because that also has a little overview of how to use that, which is pretty cool. We figured that's a helpful thing. Last week, we actually had an issue at Optimism Fractal where somebody didn't have an EVN account, and we're like, what to do? And then we tried using this, but it worked pretty well for starting, but there's a couple like little quirks to be aware of. So, but it works very well. Though you can create an account in like 5 seconds, basically, when you know how to do it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So yeah, well, I suppose Abraham, thanks so much for the conversation, and let's definitely follow up afterwards. If there's anything else you want to say about this now, then feel free. Okay, and then the other topic about Optimism Season 6, I don't think we'll have time for that now, but we'll probably discuss that, propose it for next week. If anybody has anything else you want to discuss for next week, then feel free. I wonder, Will, Rosmari, do you have anything else on your mind that you want to share before we wrap up the town hall?
No.
Just I'm down for ideation, collab, UX testing, any way I can help. So let me know. I'll try to weave it into my schedule.
Okay, sounds great. Well, thanks so much for the help, Will. And also feel free to let us know if there's anything we can do to help support you with all the initiatives that you're doing. I would love to help however I can. And I recommend, if you haven't done so already, that QR code that I shared before, maybe I'll just pull up the screen again to sign us off and get started with the end of the episode. That QR code that I brought up, it's in the YouTube video, so you can find it there if you go to the DevFolio, and Rosmari shared this link. I recommend, if you want to engage in the office hours, somewhere in here, I don't know exactly what time it is, over there.
It's
If you
towards
go
the
and
end. There it
yep,
is.
yeah, if you haven't done that yet, that's a good next
Got it.
step. They encourage you to do that this week.
Well,
So
I'm
if
in their
you,
Discord. I'm in their
okay.
Discord. That code just said link does not exist. So
Oh, okay, bummer. I don't know. Yeah, maybe try just reaching out to them and asking. It worked for me yesterday when I tried signing up. It's a very short
yeah,
form,
no worries.
but we'll recommend trying to do that this week, because the first mentorship hours are on Monday. So that's kind of like one call to action immediately. If you want to get support directly from their team, then recommend checking it out.
Cool.
And with, oh, is there anything else you want to say there, Will? Or I see Abraham's unmuted too.
No, I just say cool.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. So that's a great episode, I think, about the Onchain Summer. So thanks everybody so much. This has been a wonderful episode, a wonderful event at both Optimism Fractal playing the respect game with y'all, and then the town hall talking about Onchain Summer. I'm looking forward to surfing the waves with you on Onchain Summer and doing all the cool stuff we'll do here. I invite everyone to join Optimism Fractal events and Optimism Town Hall events every Thursday at 17 UTC and 18 UTC, and encourage everybody to participate in Onchain Summer and build really cool stuff with the Base ecosystem and the Superchain. Feel free to reach out with any questions. If there's anything you'd like to discuss in next week's Optimism Town Hall, as I said, feel free to suggest a topic. And if you want to make sure that it's proposed first, if it's the main topic of discussion, then propose it in the Optimism Town Hall snapshot space. And then if you could just let us know in the Discord, that would be cool. Otherwise, I'll probably propose an Optimism Season 6 topic next week too. So happy to discuss this or anything else that we have on our minds as well. And I think that's it. We have more events coming up too. So Optimistics, we host these Optimism Fractal events every Thursday, as I said, and another event called Eden Fractal, where we talk about where we build these respect game and fractal decision-making processes. So everybody's welcome to join both of these events. Oh, this is the page that Rosmari shared about creating your account. This is now at optimismfractal.com/accounts, where we encourage people to use the Coinbase smart wallet instructions. We also have MetaMask for anybody who wants to use that as well, because it's a very popular solution, but takes a bit longer to set up. But you can see like a little overview of walkthrough about exactly how it works. So it works quite well, and you could just do it. It's like a six-step thing, and your wallet's ready basically. So really nice system there. Thanks, Rosmari, for sharing. In addition to there's several events hosted by Base that you can check out in our events calendar, and more events that we have coming up throughout the week too, as well as in the Optimism ecosystem too. So encourage you all to join. And I guess that's it. We'll see you again next week at 17 UTC for Optimism Fractal and 18 UTC for the Town Hall. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And I suppose we can wrap it up. I don't know if we want to say go Superchain or go Optimism or go Optimism Fractal. Is often we like to count down 3, 2, 1. Maybe go Superchain, go Onchain Summer. Any thoughts?
Onchain Summer.
Okay, sounds good. Ready? 3, 2, 1, 0. Go
Onchain
Onchain
Summer!
Summer! Woohoo! All right, thanks everybody so much, and
All right.
see you next time.
Take care.